forward air controllers are positioned with Army brigade and battalion maneuver elements to advise ground commanders on close air support capabilities and to control airstrikes from the air and from the ground. The forward air controller, FAC, is an indispensable part of tactical air power in support of ground forces. Never before has the capability of the FAC been more exploited, or has any phase of combat operations proved more effective and necessary. FACs are experienced fighter pilots who know tactical reconnaissance and airlift capabilities. As members of battalion and brigade tactical air control parties, the FAC knows Army capabilities and is familiar with the ground scheme of maneuver. When airborne, the FAC is always in radio contact with ground elements and ready to control airstrikes requested by the Army. The Army needs an expert in tactical air firepower to advise ground force commanders on close air support capabilities and to recommend the appropriate ordnance load of bombs, rockets, guns, and other weapons for specific targets. The majority of tactical air support used by the Army is pre-planned. The FAC's assistance is needed to determine the air support requirements for both the pre-planned and immediate requests. Upon Army request, the FAC transmits immediate requirements for close air support, reconnaissance, and tactical airlift to the Direct Air Support Center, or DASC. The Army calls on the FAC to control close air support strikes from ground or air observation posts. To accomplish this, he must maintain contact with strike pilots and fire support coordinators of the Army. When does the Army use close air support? Against targets that are beyond the range of organic surface fire, or when targets are inaccessible, beyond artillery range, or when added firepower and ordnance delivery by tactical aircraft is necessary to achieve decisive results. How does the Army acquire close air support? Battalion commanders request immediate close air support, and the FAC, who also functions as the Battalion Air Liaison Officer, or ALO, transmits the request to the DASC. At the DASC, the Air Request Net Operator receives the request, hands it to the Director, and a copy to the Army Tactical Air Support Element, known as the TACE. Monitoring the request during transmission, Brigade and Division Tactical Air Control parties, in coordination with Army G3 and S3 air elements, indicate approval or disapproval. After TACE approval, the request is submitted to the Air Force Fighter Duty Officer in the DASC. The Fighter Duty Officer scrambles the fighter aircraft, and the strike is on. The fighter pilots contact a radar element of the tactical air control system for radar guidance to the target area. Arriving in the target area, they coordinate their strike with the ground commander through the tactical air control party. How do the ALO and FAC coordinate? And how does the FAC control airstrikes from the ground? After the TACP receives mission data, the FAC plans the strike, and the ALO coordinates artillery fires. The FAC briefs the flight leader and requests target marking through the Artillery Forward Observer, or FO. The FO radios for smoke markings on the target. The forward air controller then requests marking of friendly positions for troop safety. With target and friendly positions marked, the FAC is ready to direct the strike, utilizing visual and reference control techniques. The mission completed, the FAC passes Bomb Damage Assessment, or BDA, to the Army commander and others concerned. Forward air controllers use specialized tactical air support aircraft to control airstrikes, greatly expanding their capability to support multiple ground units in the battle area. When controlling a strike, a FAC can position himself in the most suitable place to control and observe the attack, yet remain clear of attacking aircraft. The FAC, when airborne, has many advantages, yet his responsibilities and procedures are identical to those when he is operating on the ground. From the aircraft, he can see terrain not visible to ground observers. He can position himself quickly and easily over difficult terrain and mark the target. He can establish radio contact more easily with attacking aircraft. And he can observe and transmit strike results directly into Army and Air Force channels. An aerial platform is an essential part of the forward air controller's equipment. For example, the O-1 aircraft is an all-metal, high-wing, two-place monoplane powered by a 213 horsepower, six-cylinder engine. This multi-purpose aircraft is used for reconnaissance, observation, and strike control with a limited marking capability. Its communications equipment consists of a UHF command radio, VHF command set, interphone, FM liaison set, and it is equipped with a low-frequency automatic direction finder. Under normal conditions, the O-1 Bird Dog requires 400 feet to take off, climbs at 1,000 feet per minute, and lands in 300 feet. It has a maximum range of approximately 400 miles. The O-2A Super Skymaster is a two-engine, propeller-driven aircraft in push-pull configuration. It is equipped with a full complement of avionic equipment and can carry cargo and external stores. Rocket pods are attached to pylons on both wings to facilitate target marking. The O-2 was selected to enhance the FAC mission. Its communications equipment consists of an interphone system, UHF, VHF, and FM radios, IFF, SIF radar transponder, X-band radar beacon, and provisions for a speech security system. For navigation, the O-2 has a low-frequency direction finder and tactical navigational system, a non-computing optical sight, an armament control panel, and trigger button complete the marking rocket delivery system. The O-2A is an off-the-shelf aircraft with a high wing and retractable tricycle landing gear. Its tandem engines add speed, safety for the pilot, and reduces reaction time. The aircraft takes off in less than 1,000 feet, travels at speeds of 80 to 200 miles per hour. It has significantly increased range and loiter characteristics over earlier O-1 FAC aircraft. A smoke generator system is available to facilitate rendezvous of the FAC and incoming strike aircraft. The OV-10A Bronco, designed as a multi-mission counterinsurgency aircraft, has been converted to a FAC aircraft. Ruggedness and simplicity of operation allow it to be maintained at forward operating areas. For maximum visibility, the cockpit is positioned well forward of the wing. When carrying an Army observer or other crew member, the overlap of visibility facilitates acquisition of the target and friendly forces. Improved visibility, plus the range and loiter characteristics of the turboprop engines, make this aircraft well suited to the FAC mission. The OB-10A is capable of carrying target marking ordnance ranging from 2.75-inch rockets to bombs and the 106mm recoilless rifle. The 7.62 machine guns in the sponson also provide the FAC with a limited fire capability when marking hostile targets. The OB-10 radio equipment is compatible with tactical air control party communications and ground forces nets. It consists of UHF, FM, VHF, and HF single side band. Improved design features of the OB-10 permit operations from short, semi-prepared airstrips and increase its low-level maneuverability. Low, slow, close-in search is possible in rugged terrain. If the situation warrants, high-speed dives and zooms to safe altitudes are possible. Aircraft performance and overall mission capability mark the OB-10A as a much improved aerial platform for the FAC. When using this aircraft, how does the FAC control strikes from the air? First, using low-level navigation techniques and detailed maps, he navigates to the target area. He knows the location of friendly ground forces and nature of the enemy. He radios the battalion tactical air control party and receives the current tactical situation, carefully identifying and authenticating messages. The FAC must have compatible communications with his ground forces, the fighters, TACP, and the Air Force Air Request Net. Target determined, the battalion air liaison officer coordinates artillery fires and arranges for friendly position marking. The DASC and ALO coordinate the fighter time on target, rendezvous, and working frequency. The fighters check in by radio with the FAC. The FAC and fighters rendezvous at a predetermined area. The forward air controller coordinates last-minute details with the battalion ALO or the Army Fire Support Coordinator. The fighters relay the number and type of aircraft, frag order mission number, ordnance load, time they can loiter, altitude, and present location. The FAC relays the nature of the target, terrain features in the target area, weather and surface winds, nearest friendly positions, best bailout area, and anticipated ground fire. He recommends the order in which the ordnance be expended and plans last-minute details of attack. The FAC requests friendlies to mark their positions. Identified, he marks the target. When the target is clearly established, the fighters attack. Forward air controllers, while on the ground or airborne, are the eyes of the strike pilot. He must keep the target in sight, the fighters appraised of the combat situation, and plan efficient distribution of ordnance. A strike can be no better than the directions transmitted and received. The successful application of tactical air power by a forward air controller lies in the man. His ability to reason, to use the facilities at hand, and to be self-sufficient make him an essential element in close air support. The highest degree of aggressiveness, discipline, and leadership are demanded of him for success in this important role. The forward air controller is combat proven. He is a vital part of tactical air operations in support of the United States Army.